Hey, it's Chris Aiken from the Classic Metal Show. Most people know me as the foul-mouthed shock jock from the Classic Metal Show, or the no-nonsense heavy metal critic from pitriff.com. Now you get to learn the other side. My first book, Little Victories, A Tale of Divorce, Debauchery, and Finding Happiness, comes out on January 13th in paperback and digital formats on Amazon and iTunes. It details my real-world emotional struggles over a year that included a divorce after a quarter-century of marriage and the death of my father. It profiles things I did right, as well as a bevy of things that I did wrong with the help of alcohol, and how I found my way out of the muck of the emotional state that almost saw me commit suicide. Pre-order your copy of Little Victories, A Tale of Divorce, Debauchery, and Finding Happiness today at www.chrisaikenbooks.com and get in touch with the more fallible side of me, Chris Aiken. Sounds happy, huh?
All right, what else we got here? We got KXM.
KXM?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, I don't know what to think about this.
Well, let me read this because I'm actually hearing about this for the first time.
Okay.
KXM featuring Korn. That's Korn with a K.
Right, because that's cool.
King's X.
Yep.
And Dokken members putting final touches on a debut album.
I know that automatically gets you way excited, doesn't it?
Yeah. KXM, the new project featuring Ray Luzier of Korn.
Mm-hmm.
Bassist vocalist Doug Pinnick of King's X.
Okay.
And guitarist George Lynch will head into the studio this coming weekend to put a few final touches on their upcoming debut release due later in the year by way of Rat Pack Records.
Did you say something? I fell asleep when you said Doug Pinnick.
I thought TNN was supposed to be doing something. Isn't that all we heard? That, oh, well, we're going to put out that second release and we're going to tour it and we're going to go out and play and we're going to do this and nothing ever came of that. Nothing.
You talked to Jeff. Maybe you talked him out of it.
No, I don't think so.
From the creators of World of...
What was that?
Like commercial time, right?
Yeah. Says the label, the songs are truly amazing. It's always amazing. Everything that some of these guys do.
From the creators of World of Tanks.
What the fuck is that?
Take the battle to...
I don't know.
That's not me.
Oh, is that me?
That's you.
Oh, must be.
I don't have anything open, so it's got to be you.
It must be on this page. I don't know. Something that keeps trying to play.
Oh.
All right. Let's see here. Where was I? Oh, yeah. They're truly amazing. Ray's drumming sounds like the three-dimensional thunder.
Oh, boy.
George's guitar playing will leave you to wonder if he's really playing through an amp or if he's directly plugged into some kind of a universal energy that only that the guitar gods have.
What dick fuck wrote this press release? Jesus.
If he's plugged into a universal energy that only the guitar gods have access to.
And Doug Pinnick singing will remind you of how potent a whole box of Sominex is.
Then add in Doug Pinnick, who brings his rock-solid bass grooves, intelligible lyrics. Intelligible,
all right.
And seasoned songwriting talents to the table.
Jesus, does this sound awful.
No hype and no joke.
Now, are you ready for the flip side of this?
Uh-huh.
You know I can't take Doug Pinnick.
I can't take him either. I just don't get the hype behind Doug Pinnick.
I do not get King's X, and specifically Doug and his voice. Nice guy. I've met him at least 10 times. He's a very nice guy. But musically, he is fucking cancer in whichever lung you like the least. You know, he is horrendous.
Yeah.
But I listened to some of this, which just sounds terrible. You know, the thought of these three together does not sound like it would be good at all.
Yeah.
And it's really not bad.
Really? From the creators of World of Tanks.
What the hell is that?
Take the battle to the...
That's your video playing or commercial?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Every time you're clicking on the YouTube
I don't touch anything. I'm just sitting here. I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
It's just on the page, I guess. I don't know.
But
anyway, let's see. No hype and no joke. KXM is the real deal, and you're going to love this album. The trailer featuring the song Gunfight from KXM's forthcoming debut release can be seen below. In an introductory trailer, the KXM band members describe how they came together, the meaning behind the name KXM, and they give us a glimpse into the stellar songwriting ability.
Stellar.
Yeah.
From the creators of World of Tanks.
What the hell is that?
Take the battle.
Close the page.
I did. Just can't figure out what the hell that is.
Some fucking faggot ad that Blabbermouth has on their page, I'm sure.
Yeah. So
Chuck Phillips in the chat room. It's the NSA.
So anyway, look at this. In a recent interview with the Talking Metal podcast.
Well, at least it's credible.
Yeah. Lynch stated about how KXM came together. When you are in the music scene here, especially in Southern California, you run into everyone. Everybody loves everybody. It's a mutual admiration society. What the hell? Are you sure that's not on your end?
I don't have anything open.
Oh. Because I don't see anything playing here. But anyway, let's see if I can get through this without something jumping out at me again. Let's see here. Yeah,
fashion is not only important because it's a reflection of...
I don't know what the fuck that is. All right.
Close the window.
I'm going to have to.
Close the window. Click on the video, and let's just listen to the video. And they're high, because I've watched this video. This video's got quality too.
Okay. Let's play it.
All right.
George, I remember when I met you. I remember I said hi to you, and I liked what you did, and you smiled, and you said you like King's X, and I ran home and told everybody I knew, dude, George Lynch likes King's X.
My whole life I've always wanted to play with Ray Luzier and Dokken.
And I remember when I met you, I would see you at almost every King's X show out in L.A. when you'd come, and you'd always be in the back, and you'd wait until I got done talking to everybody.
You remember what I said to you, though? I said that before I die, I want to play tambourine on one of your tracks, just on anything.
And now we're friends, and we're playing a band together.
Yes, no?
Oh, not bad.
Cannot take Pinnick's voice, but other than that, I love it.
Yeah, it's very bass heavy.
Yeah, and my God, George sounds like he's plugged into a universal energy power source.
Yeah, that only guitar gods have access to.
Yeah, only him and Eddie Van, and that's it.
Well, it'll be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, you know it's going to stink.
Well, what I want to know is, where do all these projects go that George gets involved with? I mean, they crop up and then they disappear.
It's because I have to think that they're just recording contracts. I mean, you don't think that any of these projects are actually... First of all, you know George better than I know George. Does George take the time to actually map out a year-long business plan for any of these projects?
Not at all. But every time you see the interviews, you know, well, what's going to be next? You know, you guys releasing this new record. It's out now. Blah blah blah. Oh well, we're getting some tour dates together in the fall, and we're going to tour this, and we're going to do this, and then it just goes by the wayside.
Right. Then they play 3 gigs out there, and one in L.A., one in Sacramento, and one in wherever, Barstow. And then they say, all right, we're done with this.
Then it's on to something else.
And that's the next project.
Right.
Sacred Groove 2.
Sacred Groove wasn't that bad.
No, it was okay.
Yeah. But regardless, I mean, you know, that was the big deal that, TNN, we're going to do that, you know.
Yeah,
we got a whole another CD worth of music recorded already, and we're gonna put out the second release, and we're gonna go tour it, and we're gonna go do this, and then nothing.
Yeah, no, that sure didn't help. That sure didn't happen. Now, did it?
No, not at all.
In fact, what the hell are any of those guys doing? Pilson's hanging out. George is apparently doing KXM. Mick, what's Mick doing?
Well, Mick, you know, he spends his time between Nugent and Dokken, as far as I know, and maybe doing some session work.
Yeah, and
you know, and Jeff, you know, aside from doing the Foreigner thing, he's always producing.
Yeah, dude, I was watching. I posted on Facebook. I was watching on Hulu. They have a Foreigner concert from Chicago there, like House of Blues there in Chicago,
right?
It was fairly recent, like within the last year.
Okay.
And it's still like when I saw him 5 years ago, where Jeff is way too energetic for that band.
Yeah, I know. He's always banging his head and moving around on stage, and his hair is flying, and he's just really, you know, he's really getting into it.
It's just funny to watch because you see like Mick Jones is like maybe taking like 2 steps forward and 2 steps back in the course of a whole song. And Jeff is running around the stage, headbanging, jumping off risers and stuff. I'm like, Jesus, Jeff.
Yeah.
It's not Dokken, man.
Yeah.
Sit down.
You know, you remember the videos, the Unchain the Night video?
Sure.
Where Don is always talking about Jeff, you know, saying he's hyper, he's jumping around on stage, he's thrashing his bass, you know.
Sure.
And he's still doing that today.
Yeah. It's just funny watching him. You know, the rest of the band is all docile. They're doing like Cold as Ice or something that's like mid-tempo at best.
Yeah.
And Jeff's jumping off of the risers and stuff and leg splits and everything else. I'm like, Jesus, dude, slow down. Calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
He's awesome, though. Yeah, I love Jeff.
I do, too. He's a good dude, man.
He is a good dude.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Yep.
So, anyway, that's the latest on George Lynch.
Yeah, so there we go. KXM coming soon.
Yeah. Now, I had been privy to some potential plans that, speaking of Jeff Pilson and George Lynch and the whole Dokken thing, being that this is the 30th anniversary of Tooth and Nail.
Yeah.
There's been talk. At this point, that's all it is just talk. That perhaps they might do a one-off and perform Tooth and Nail in its entirety.
Oh, boy.
So.
Can't wait to hear that.
Well, hey, you never know.
Look, unless Don's going to take 6 months off the road first to get his voice completely rested. Can't wait to hear that.
Well, he's pretty much been off the road for 6 months.
Yeah, but they're playing again.
Yeah, what, end of this month?
End of this month and then next month. I mean, they have 5 gigs in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're just playing Southern California for the most, right?
Yeah, Southern California, Texas, and Mexico.
Right, so they're not traveling that far.
No, not really.
So, but I will tell you that if and when that were to take place,
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna go to that.
I'm going. I'm definitely. Why not? I can get a free ticket.
Sure.
I know somebody in the band. I might be able to get in for free.
I don't think that's really the major part. The part is traveling wherever it might take place.
Enough of that. If I'm not on the list, I'm not going.
Right.
That's how it works,
right.
Man. You got to put me on the list. I am a VIP.
Sure. Yeah, like that's ever been a problem to get into the show.
It's very tough to get into these shows. And if I'm not on the list, you better believe Dokken.net will be gay porn by tomorrow.
Right. Nice. Well, you got to admit, probably, one of the better times that we had in 2013 was the Oshkosh show.
Dude, that's one of the best times I've ever had at a show ever.
Yeah, it was good.
That was so much fun, and the access that we had. I've never had access like that, and I mean I've been doing this a long time and been backstage at a million shows, and I've never had that kind of access. Yeah. That was fucking stellar.
Yeah, it was just the whole thing. As many times as we've been around these guys, just sitting in the catering area, having lunch with Rat and Dokken and Jackal, and everybody sitting around, and just we're all sitting there having lunch together.
Yeah, and not being oddballs, because, I mean, I've done that before. I did it with Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Dinner with Iron Maiden once. But I felt very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Sitting there and, I'm trying to make small talk with Bruce Dickinson and Rod Smallwood, who I was sitting with. And it was very uncomfortable, because I don't know those guys. But with the Dokken crew and with the Rat guys, too, they were all just like, hey, what's up, man? Pass the fucking ketchup.
Right.
It was like, cool. All right.
I think the funniest one was when Piercy was trying to have me go find some ice for him and find him some Jack.
Dude, what happened to that bottle? I know there was a bottle back here, man. Where'd that bottle go?
Find me some Jack. Get me some ice, too, will you?
I'll tell you what, you probably did him a big favor by not finding it for him. Considering what we heard, 2 weeks later or whatever.
Yeah, at the Sao Paulo.
Yeah, what we heard at the Sao Paulo show. Oh, God, it's probably you probably saved the show. You don't even know it.
Yeah, that's true.
Just think, it would have been 6 hours of awful if it would have been Rat with wasted Stephen Piercy, followed by Van Halen with terrible David Lee.
Right.
Wow, that would have been a lot of hours of awful.
But you got to admit, when we were up on the stage when Rat was on, that was just a jam.
It was awesome, man.
That was just a jam. They just sounded like Rat.
Yeah, they were great, dude.
And I still say that bringing Carlos Cavazo into the fold as the second guitarist, that was just the best move they could have made.
Yeah, Carlos rules.
Yeah, I mean, he just complements Warren so well with those solos. I mean, everybody talks about Robin Crosby and what a loss that was and so on, but I'm telling you what, Carlos has injected that twin guitar attack energy back into that live performance.
Sure.
And it was so good.
Yeah, it was. You know what my favorite part of the whole weekend was, though? And this was so 1 second that made my whole weekend, was at the end of one of John's guitar solos.
Yeah.
Like, waved me out and just did the fucking fist bump.
Right.
Just for 1 second, he's like, yeah, come here. And I went out and we did the fist bump. That was like the coolest shit.
Yeah, sure.
Because here he was just rocking.
Yeah, he's like, I nailed it, dude. I nailed it. I know I did.
Yeah, he did. And he did. He was fucking stellar that night.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill. Australia sucks. Why don't I live over there with you guys and go see all this cool band?
Are you in the bathroom again, Tim?
Yes.
Tim, how come you got to go to public bathrooms to call us? I'm starting to think that you're seeking out the local glory holes and calling us in between.
No, I'm in the bathroom at home. My daughter's having a bit of a tiz in the other room.
So I got to call the Classic Metal Show. Shut up. I'm going into the bathroom.
That's pretty much it.
Well, Happy New Year to you, Tim. Did you enjoy the Top 20 Countdown show and the Best of the Classic Metal Show?
Well, I have to admit, I didn't really listen to the Top 20 Countdown because I had a gig, but I did listen to the best of.
Well, it played like 3 or 4 times. It played several times.
I'm not up with all that. I like to catch it live.
Well, it wasn't live. At any point was it live, Tim?
As you should have known since you participated.
Yeah, but what I mean is, At least I know when it, like I know every Sunday from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 8 o'clock at night, you guys are on.
Isn't that funny? This guy spends his whole Sunday just listening to us.
As he should. As he should.
Well, what can we do for you, Tim?
Actually, I've got it. Oh, by the way, I saw that. Saw the rat. I saw my friend's got a copy of that, and I saw it at his house the other day.
What did you see? You saw a copy of what?
I saw their Monsters of Rock performance.
Okay.
And geez, that's bad.
Oh, the one we critiqued before we went on break?
Yeah, the one you were just talking about. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's awful.
Okay.
The band's really good, but he stinks.
You don't say.
All right, Tim. Well, it's been good talking to you.
No, I was just going to ask one question before I go.
All right.
How long are you planning on continuing the classic metal show for? Like, how many more years have we got to look forward to?
Until we decide we're not going to do it anymore.
So there's no grand plan.
Nope, no grand plan. The only grand plan for me personally is I want to at least do 20 years. But that doesn't mean that's when I'm going to stop. I just want to make the 20-year mark, and if it goes on beyond that, hey, God bless everybody.
We're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, good, because that means I've got something to look forward to every Sunday.
I thought you look forward to worshiping your Lord and Savior and your Creator.
Yeah, I do that. Then I listen to the CMS.
So you basically you go worship the Lord, and then you basically rub elbows with the devil.
God's on the devil. Far
Your favorite album, Heaven and Hell?
Yeah, I love that album. It's great.
Bet you do.
How about Shout at the Devil?
Yeah, shout at the devil, not with the devil. You listen to that, and you listen to the lyrics of that, they're actually anti.
Yeah, to hell with the devil.
Well, Tim is a big Striper fan. We got a double dose of Striper from him on the countdown.
Yeah, both live and studio.
No,
they didn't do a lot of
reissues.
Reissue, that's right.
Re-record album, yeah.
Right, because there was because there was nothing worthy to make your list, so we had to put a reissue on there.
That was my list. I'm pretty fussy when it comes to albums,
Is that what you call it, fussy?
It's pretty fussy.
Yeah, I have to kind of like every song. Normally I end up really, if I'm lucky, loving one or two albums a year. Really loving. I actually forgot about A Different Kind of Truth, but that was the last album that kicked my butt so much as the current Striper album.
Jesus, really?
Every song has to be a gem. What?
Tim, you like Generation Swine. There's not a gem on it.
Well, we'll have to agree to disagree there. That album's a very, very deep album, man.
Oh, my God, Tim.
Well, Tim, what's your big question for us?
That was the big question about how much longer the...
That's it? That was the question?
Yeah, that was it. Anyway, I won't hold you up anymore. Hail and kill. Bye-bye. Hail and kill, boys. It's Tim James calling from Sydney, Australia. How are you?
Well, thanks for calling, Tim.
Hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. And hand job!
That's it.
I really have to start questioning that Tim really believes in God.
That was the big question. How long are you going to do this?
As long as you keep praying to Satan, Tim. That's how long. Every time you go to church, that's one less show you're getting from us.
Right.
And Satan will keep track for us.
Sure.
Because he's part of the Generation Swine.
Right. Wow.
Come on, Tim.
That was the big question?
That was the big question.
How long are you going to do this?
Yeah. How about if we're back next week? Be happy. How about that? Unless you're paying some an outrageous fee to get this show, shut up.
Just enjoy it while it lasts.
Tim prays to the shitter from the shitter.
Right. Wow.
Nice.
Tim.
All
Wow.
right. We look forward to Tim's next call in 10 to 15 minutes.
Right. Nice. All right, man. I think we ought to jump into some tunage here.
Okay.
Let you rest a little bit for a few, and we'll come back and do some more stuff.
That works.
I I heard a little bit of this earlier this week, and it reminded me, even though it's only a 4-song EP, that I really dig this. And it's kind of dark and kind of bluesy. And when George Lynch does what he does best,
yeah,
I always like what he does when he does his George Lynch.
Oh, so what are we gonna play? Some New Souls of We?
No,
No?
That isn't That isn't classic George Lynch.
Oh, what was that other band he was in with Nikki Sixx?
He was in a band with Nikki Sixx?
Not Nikki's. That was Tracy Guns.
Right.
I don't know. What other bands has he done? He's done so many shit bands.
Oh, he did that Microdot.
Microdot was terrible.
Yeah. So,
he's up and down solo. Souls of We was garbage.
Right.
Lynch Mob was good.
Well, I'm going to play some Lynch Mob from their last EP that they did.
Okay.
From the Sound Mountain Sessions.
That works. Did you happen to download the new stuff?
The stuff you sent me today?
Yeah, or within the last week or so.
Like what, the Primal Fear?
Primal Fear.
Uh-huh.
Play the first track off of that one after the Lynch Mob song.
Okay.
That album, that's album of the year. I'm calling it now. Week 1.
Right.
I'm an hour and a half in and I'm saying it. Primal Fear, Delivering the Black is fucking amazing.
Nice. All right, I can do that.
I'm in for Lynch Mob.
All right, I want to play Slow Drag.
All right, let's do it.
I like that tune.
I do too.
All right, well, we'll be back in a few. Join us in the chat room, chatandkill.com, and we got a few more things to talk about and blah, blah, blah. So here it is. This is George Lynch from the Lynch Mob. This is Slow Drag exclusively here
on your classic metal show.